Okay, my name's Zakashi, guys, and in this video here I'm going to be giving you guys a Chrono Crystal guide, given that they have released the most fabulous unit ever, Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. And I say fabulous because the sparkles on him are just too good to look at. Outside of me glazing how he looks aesthetically, this unit is absolutely insane, and people are basically saying if you don't have this unit, you might as well not play PvP, because he is truly untouchable with his counter. Untouchable G4, you don't want to be fighting this guy if you don't have this guy. So this guide is going to give you everything you need so that you guys can get the Chrono Crystals to possibly get the opportunity to pull him in summons. Hopefully this video is going to be helpful. I'll try my best. Take in every single step, even if it's tedious. Every single step here can be useful. No more talking for the intro, man. Let's get into this video. Right, so I'm doing this part as an extra segment at the start of the video. It's going to cover basically the new stuff. There's not a lot of new stuff, but I'm going to mention what's available. So not right now, but next week there will be the Sin Shenron Zenkai, which you can get some Chrono Crystals from. They might also reload a new full power battle, which I believe does give you Chrono Crystals, but don't quote me on that. There's also going to be a new raid literally coming out in 2 days, depending on when you see this, but I'm recording this on Wednesday. You guys know that the raid currently against Super Buu is leaving, and there's going to be another one against Omega Shenron, I believe. There's also going to be a Legends Battle Royale. I'll explain the detail about that later, but if you check the news, it already explains that there's going to be a new one. Let me just scroll down. It's for Fusion Warriors. There it is. Outside of that, you can also keep doing the daily login. You might be getting Chrono Crystals. You need to be consistent logging in. When you spin the wheel, that's something you can consistently do. I'm trying to think of anything else I'm missing. I don't think I'm missing anything else. There's not going to be a lot more Chrono Crystals coming in, simply because we're reaching the end of the anniversary. So you should expect for the game to start dying down a little now that they've already released the Ultra, which is quite unfortunate because you'd want more Chrono Crystals for the hypest unit of the anniversary. The newer players wouldn't know, but for the guys that have played for at least a year, you should expect like it's only going to get better for the anniversary, you know. It's quite unfortunate, but yeah. Outside of that, there's the new PvP season, so there's rewards here, and I'll explain more about that later as well. But I'd say that's pretty much it, man. It's most things just resetting because it's the Wednesday weekly reset. New unit drops, so a lot of things reset in general. But for the most part, you're not going to get much more new events. They might just drop a couple things that they just pull out of their arse. You can get first time clears and stuff like that. For example, if I go to the events, I don't think I can show it because I've already done it today. But there's like these stuff, the Master Roshi training and choice battle. You might be able to get Chrono Crystals from the first time clear. Also, don't quote me on that, but I'm just bringing it up in case you did not know. Okay, so the first thing in this video we're going to be getting into is the raid. This raid only lasts one more day, depending on when I upload this, whether it's today or the next day. So today being Wednesday, the next day being Thursday, or maybe even later, possibly, I don't know. There'll probably be another raid anyways when this raid finishes, and each raid gives you 700 Chrono Crystals. There was 7 raids, I believe, and the 7th one will be the one coming out soon against Ultra Omega Shenron. I believe it would be 7 raids we've had, and each one's giving you 700. You just need to play it. If you want to know how you play it, similar to co-op, you literally just go in with a buddy. If you have a friend, it's much more ideal to play with a friend because you're going to need to play repeatedly, and your aim is to get medals, which you can use to exchange in the raid exchange shop for a bunch of stuff. So there's Chrono Crystals, slot removers, sparking Z power, extreme Z power, legends limited Z power, platinum coins, fragments, all sorts, man. And everything you pretty much need you can get in the raid exchange shop. Is the most optimal way to improve your account fast. Now, you want to know how to get the highest amount of medals so that you can get the Chrono Crystals fast and maybe anything else that you might want. So what I'm going to show you here is the team formation. Now, the team formation in co-op doesn't matter that much, but in raid, it's the most important factor to actually getting the biggest drops. So I'm going to go to my team formation here, and you can see if you look by the confirm button, you can see it says +325/ +100%. Now, what you want is to get the 100% so that you can actually get the same amount of consistent drops. It refers to the chance of you getting the highest amount of drops based on the number on the left. So the highest amount of drops I can get is +325, but if the right number isn't 100%, it could be sometimes 200. I could even get 0. It's actually quite insane. So make sure you try to do that, and you can see who's giving you what based on the status over here. But if you want information more accurately, this question mark here, sorry, I'm gonna have to go to the news, which is unfortunate. Hopefully, sometimes they usually put a news button, but I'm gonna have to go to the news. It's just a long way to go around it. All right, so you go in the news. and you want to look for the raid. So hopefully my eyes work here. It's very important that my eyes work here, because sometimes my eyes do not work. Is the raid even here? I'm low-key not seeing it. I might have scrolled past it. I don't think I did. Let me check the second page. Yeah, non-stop anniversary raid versus Super Boo. You see it here, event. If you go to the details there, you're going to be able to scroll down, and it's basically going to tell you everything I told you. So you see the drop rate. It's the amount of medals that the drop rate is the chance that you get to get the amount of medals that you're going to be getting. And here's the percentage that each character gives. So if I have just Gogeta and Godku, or Vegito, or Ultimate Gohan, or Gogeta, Majin Buu, no, the top row, sorry, I'm tripping. UG4, Ultimate Gohan, and Godku, they all give 50%. Then you can see below is 20%. And then the section below is 10%. Then down here is the amount of drops that you get per character, and it correlates based on how many stars you have them. So if you're close to getting somebody starred up, maybe a 1% sparking like Shin, you might want to put Z power into him, possibly get him higher than 8 stars. Plus 1 is 8 stars. And then you'll be able to get 30 plus 30 from him, which is obviously a large amount. And there's also some other ones at the bottom, for example, Gotenks, who's going to be an older unit, but can help you get some drops. They got G4 at the top, of course, because that makes the most sense. But just for this raid currently, and then check the next raid in the news, what characters give drops, because they changed it every single raid accordingly to who dropped and who's more valuable at that time, and maybe who the opponent is. That's pretty much everything you need to know for raid. You open the exchange shop here, the raid is there. You can also go menu, then exchange shop, and then you go on the left. It's going to be down at the bottom, non-stop anniversary raid. You can see I've cleared out most of the shop. There's a lot of slot removers. I think you can get up to like 2,000 slot removers, and the Chrono Crystal 700. But that's everything you need to know about raid if you didn't know yet. Now, I spoke about the Battle Royale earlier, but I didn't explain it. The Battle Royale is going to be a very simple game mode where you're able to get tickets every time you open the PvP section. So if you log into Legends, you'd end up on the homes page. But what you want to do is press PvP, and then when you press PvP, when the Battle Royale is on, the first time you open it, you'll be given 2 tickets for every single day. I believe it will be 5 days because they're trying to give you 10 tickets. With those tickets, you can only play in specific time slots. So what I'm going to do now is go to the menu, open up the news. I'm going to bring up the Battle Royale section in the news because there's an upcoming one for Fusion Warriors. Go to details, and then it's basically going to explain the fact that there's event times. Now this means you can only play PvP within the Battle Royale mode in these specific time slots, and within those specific time slots you need to get wins, and those wins will get you medals, which can be exchanged for Chrono Crystals in the Legends Battle Royale exchange shop. You see the victory medals. You can get Chrono Crystals. I believe the max you can get is 300, and I believe it costs 2 of those victory medals for 100 Chrono Crystals, but you can buy that 3 times, so you're going to need 6 at the minimum to get the whole Chrono Crystal lot in that exchange shop. It's not a lot, but it's an upcoming event, which I want to explain how it works. You have to use the conditions explained here. There's match rules, and just go for wins. Make sure you play all of the games that you can to try and get as many victory medals as you can. Then you'll be able to exchange for not just Chrono Crystal, there's other nice rewards as well. Next up, we got a method called soul boosting. This is probably one of the most effective methods for beginners. It's very simple. Now what I'm gonna do here is change this to unlocked boost panels, and I'm gonna change this to sparkings and ultras only. Now for every single 100 panels that you get for any character, it doesn't matter what character it is, but as long as you soul boost 100 panels, you'll be getting, I believe, 10 Chrono Crystals. And just look at how many characters there is. So the Zenkais always have 864, but the non-Zenkais will have 426. You can literally do it by the click of one button. So you can see here, I'm gonna bring up, let's use Master Roshi. If you go to soul boost, and then you just press unlock all, you can do it all in one button as long as you have the resources, but the resources are quite easy to get. You can capitalize on the legends where you can and use the bonus battles using your energy. If you have energy you need to waste, go ahead and use it on the bonus battles to get souls. You just press the soul boost button. Now it's all the way soul boosted, and that's 400 panels just like that. You've got ultras, sparkings, extremes, and heroes to do. So if you're doing all of these, you're going to be getting that mission where you're able to get 10 Chrono Crystals per 100 boost panels. So that would have been 40 Chrono Crystals just like that. There's a limit though. I believe the limit is 200,000 of the boost panels that you can do, but you're going to take a while to get there. And also if you go to missions, right, where you need to claim the mission, you go to events, then you want to go to Z missions, you'll be able to claim it here. It's not going to show for me because I've already done it, but it's going to be somewhere down here explaining the fact that every time you do more boost panels, you'll be able to get chrono crystals at a time. I've cleared all of them since I'm a day one player. Very easy to do. Change the filter like I did, so I changed the one on the left to unlock boost panels. I'm going to change it back to element because that's how I like to keep it. And then this one here, change it to sparking ultras. I advise you start with your ultras, go to your sparkings, then go to your extremes and go to your heroes. That's probably the value of order for importance in the game anyways, for units that you'd use. But yeah, that's that method, soul boosting. Next up, we got a method called Z equipment rolling. This is very easy to do. You're going to need a very special type of equipment though. Right now it's the Ultra Bonanza, so it's the perfect time to capitalize on this equipment, on this method, sorry. But it's very important to note that you should only do this if you don't care about slot removers. So if you're more of a collector, you're not going to care about slot removers because you're not going to grind for equipment to be super good in PvP. If you need slot removers for PvP, this method is not for you. But if you don't care about them, then you'll be able to capitalize on them. So if you go to Ultimate Equipment Collection, I believe it is, and what you want to do is pick one of the plats for the characters. Now it needs to be one of the new gen ones. For example, this Piccolo, I believe this is the old one. Is this the old one? No, this is the new one. So this is an example. You can see the slot 3s on all of these equipments. Not all of them, but most of them. They will always have a condition. So it's either slot 1, slot 2, slot 3 within slot 3, if that makes sense. So there's the first caliber where you get restores on key by 20 when this character uses special arts. But then you can get the second slot, which will be a yellow version. So it'll be green, yellow, red. The yellow one will give you restores on key by 30 when this character uses special arts. And the third one gives you all that paragraph there, which I'm not going to read. Now, what you need to do is aim for a red slot. It doesn't need to be this equipment here. It can be a bunch of these ones down here. It could be Super Saiyan Gokus. I believe it can be Orange Piccolos, Boo Bros. You just need to make sure that the last slot has one of those conditions. For example, we have Majin Vegeta here. His third slot doesn't have a condition. It's percentage based. You do not want a percentage based one where it's like a range between 5% and 10%. And you know you can get any number between there. That one is going to sell you. Aim for one of those ones that have a slot 3 with the condition, and then go for a first slot being red. Right now it's the Ultra Bonanza, so you'll be able to do that easily. Then you go to your equipment box, right? And then you need to find that equipment that you've done that for. So I already have one. If I go to my Z, I like to use this Dragon Fist one. Now you can see it's a Z already, even though the third slot is a green. Why is that important? Because when the third slot is green, that means it's the lowest possible caliber and it's still a Z. Now if I use my slot removers on it, I'm going to use 3 just for sake. And I'm going to set it to red so it doesn't just stop me. Even if I get a low one, it will just reset as a Z. And every time I'm getting a Z, it counts as me re-rolling a Z. Now re-rolling a Z unlocks a Z mission for me. And that's where I'll get my chrono crystals. So if you go to your menu, you go to missions, open up the events, the Z missions, you're going to see there's a mission that gives you chrono crystals for A or higher, and there's another one for Z or higher, but I think I finished the Z or higher one. The Z or higher one, it might even give you 20 chrono crystals, so you might be getting 30 chrono crystals at a time, which is crazy for every 10 that you do. Slot removers with the raid are very easy to come by, so do not sleep on this method. Go ahead and capitalize, only if you don't care about the slot removers though. Next up, we got the friendship method. This method here is very tedious, but it's something you can do gradually if you're really serious about this chrono crystal grinding. Now you can see this team, this is my friendship team, and you might have noticed they all got the same equipment. How is that even possible? It's because it's a friendship equipment. This equipment increases the amount of friendship points I get. Friendship points don't have that much use. Once you get to level 2, you can give some of the special moves to Charlotte. Not all of them. You have to check which ones are teachable to him. Outside of that, friendship points is useful in Tournament of Power. Most people don't care about that game mode, but you should start to care about it for certain teams. Now, with this equipment, you can see it gives you one of those conditional ones like I just spoke about in the last section. You want to aim for the third one every single time. It's not difficult to get, unlike other equipments. And you can get this from the equipment medal exchange shop. You're going to need 3 for every unit on the team. But if you can just get 9, that's fine. So the first 3 that you're going to bring into battle, that would be optimal. But otherwise, you're going to need the full 18 for the team. Do you get what I'm saying? Cool. Once you got as many as you can get, don't have to get them godly straight away. Just get as many first red slots as you can, and then try get the second one red or yellow at least. From this, every time you increase a character's friendship from 1 to 2, it's very easy to do. Once you have a team like this, it would literally take 1 let's fight. That would give you like 10 chrono crystals, I believe. And if I go to my character list and I just show you my ultras, for example, and I change this to friendship rank, where it can show me where is it, friendship rank right there. you can see that I still have some of these guys that I haven't even got to friendship rank 2, and I can do that at 1 let's fight. Ignore Ultra Vegito Blue being at 100, he's just my personal favorite and I don't use this method, but it's something I could apply if I wanted to. If I now show you the Sparkings, there's actually a lot. Ignore Vegito again at 54. You can see how like there's a lot at the bottom. I could easily just play 1 let's fight and immediately get them to 2 and give me chrono crystals, and there's 3 let's fights that you can do every single day. That's not even including the extremes. There's a lot I've done, a lot I haven't done though, and then the heroes, which of course are also a factor to this. I accidentally pressed light. There we go. So you can see there's a lot of chrono crystals to get from the friendship points, just getting them to level 2. It's even every level, but from level 1 to level 2 is the smallest gap, which makes the most sense. If you use the let's fights, you can also use this battle over here while the anniversary is on. So if you go to event, you go to recommended, you go to the new Vegeta and Gogeta event for the anniversary, and you press this event here, that also gives you a lot of friendship points. And I believe the other mission here, I have it here, it's part 6, book 1, chapter 8. It's on the screen for you guys, so I'm gonna show you. So part 6, book 1, chapter 8. That should be the chapter where you're able to get easy friendship points by just playing it repeatedly. This one here against Super Saiyan 3 Goku, just keep playing it repeatedly. It's a lot slower than Let's Fight, but it's something available to you if you are that serious about getting every single chrono crystal. Speaking of the story mode, there's nothing more in the game that gives you more chrono crystals than story mode. Story mode is very tedious, but it gives you the most. It's a literal 5-in-1. So you see all of these stars, they basically equate to 3 chrono crystals, and you also get a first time clear. So let's use, I always use part 2. You can see there's 728 stars. If we do 728, then we times that by 3, just by the stars alone, that's 2,184. And let's just assume there's what, 50 battles in part 2 alone. You will be getting what, a first time clear of 10. That's 500 just alone from the first time clears. We're not done though. When you go to the mission section, there's more chrono crystals to get. So in the more legends missions for challenges here, you'll be getting chrono crystals for the amount of challenges you're clearing in story. Then on top of that, you'll be getting chrono crystals from the Z missions. You can see at the top it'll say clear part. You'll be getting 10 chrono crystals for each part you clear. Also, once you get past a certain level, you'll be getting those, you know, the Z things from the, I just showed you, the plus 30 here. You'll be getting the plus 30 for every single mission you clear in the story. Then you can actually get chrono crystals from leveling up, which is also effective from that. So you can see story is just super effective. It does take a long time and it is very tedious, but you can just skip through the story. I've even got a video on YouTube which basically explains how to clear the story mode fast, because it does take a lot of time regardless, but you can be more efficient with it so that you don't waste your time. In the same boat as the story, you should be clearing all the events, but I'm not mentioning the events for the sake. It's obviously common sense to play the events. Why I'm mentioning them is to play by priority. So you need to look at what's leaving first. For example, the raid is on its way out. There's only 1 day left. Capitalize on the chrono crystals from the raid exchange shop so that you can get the exchange of chrono crystals before they leave, and then you'll be able to capitalize on the next one as well. You see this one here, 6 days left. Play it before it leaves. The extreme battle, play it before it leaves. The rushes don't give you chrono crystals, so I'm not going to talk about those. These have 6 days left. Play it before it leaves, because after it leaves, they're just going to replace it with another one anyway. So get all the chrono crystals as you got it right now, and it just cycles around every like 20 days, 30 days. These ones here, they don't have a date on them, so they're not going to leave. Most of the upgrade missions don't even give you chrono crystals anyways, and the special ones don't leave, so you don't need to prioritize them. So think about that. Even with reference to the story, the story is not going anywhere, so you don't need to rush it. You can do it after the events that are going to leave. So prioritize the ones with the timers on them so you don't miss out, because they're just going to get replaced by something else anyways. Play them while they're there. Another one that should go without saying is PvP. For every 2 weeks, if you land within a certain place, you'll be able to get chrono crystals. But not just that, it's multiple sources in one. For example, the mission plan, if you've got the battle lovers, which I'll explain later, it actually contributes to that because it has missions of playing PvP. There's also the PvP missions themselves, which give you chrono crystals and some other rewards for the exchange shop. I think the exchange shop also has CC depending on what type of PvP season it is. So this one's a special one. If you actually look at the exchange shop here, there's going to be chrono crystals available. I haven't claimed them yet, so you can see that it's very effective. You also get end of season PvP, which I explained, for 2 weeks, but there's also like bonus ones depending on what group you're in. So if I go to ranking, which is what I'm going to show you first, Go to ranking, we'll wait for it to load. Then if you look at season reward list, based on where you rank, you'll be getting chrono crystals off that. And you also get chrono crystals based on your group. You don't get chrono crystals for your battle rank, but there's daily rewards that you can get as well, specifically the treasure battle outside of the anniversary. But right now it's obviously the anniversary, so you can only get the treasure battle flowers, which is good to know. But outside of that, you'll be able to get like chrono crystals if you're lucky. So PvP is just something you should be playing. Just try to build one good team. Like right now, I'm using Fusion Warriors just for some inspo. GT is also something you can use. Obviously, you're watching this video because you want G4. I have G4, so I'm kind of just like again, it's just putting you on. Low-key plug as well, best teams and equipments video on my channel for G4 if you do want to prepare for him. Tournament of Power is also in that similar boat as PvP. Every 2 weeks it resets and you'll be able to get 1000 chrono crystals, but not just 1000 chrono crystals. Simply alone for reaching the top, you'll be able to get 300 chrono crystals. So whether you rank highly or not to get the 1000 chrono crystals, you'll get 300 just for finishing. Now I need to emphasize, for this game mode, you cannot die. This game mode works on a multiplier, and if you lose that multiplier, you will rank so low to the point you miss out on all the chrono crystals. You must survive at all costs. If you can survive without healing, great, but if you need to heal, do so. You will lose points because you're using a spot to heal over than getting points from attacking, but if you die in this game mode, you will lose out on a bunch of chrono crystals. But let me just show you. If I go to the ranking, hopefully it loads fast because tournament power be taking long sometimes. Look at it taking its slow time. Cool. I can go to the season details and show you get chrono crystals for your battle score, and then you get chrono crystals for where you rank in the world, and it's percentage based. Obviously, once you're getting high scores, you'll be ranking up. You need to aim for Z League, which is the highest league, but you'll be able to get the most amount of chrono crystals, I believe. So yeah, that's tournament power. Also, you just need one good team. You need some friendship. If you're having struggles understanding it, because I'm not even the good tournament power guy, I'll just show you what I'm running. I'm running regeneration because I know they heal a lot, which means I won't die. But if you want help on it, join my Discord server. There is a lot of help about tournament power in my Discord server. If you want to learn, you could also ask the helpers in my Discord server. They can actually give you information regarding it or direct you to the right place. So yeah, sorry I'm not the best guy for this, but I know where to go if I need the information. It's all about not dying, keeping that multiplier, using one good team, having equipment, and getting the friendship rank for that one good team. So all of these guys on this team, whether you believe it or not, they are friendship rank 10. People hate this game mode for good reason. It's kind of tedious, but they've made it much easier to play. It only requires you to play once a day now to get your first time bonus every single time. Back in the day, it used to require you to play 3 times a day. That was mad annoying, and I actually used to do that because I cared about every chrono crystal I could get. But first of all, let's talk about the it's just an event, you know. You get your chrono crystals for your first time clear, the challenges, which is dope. But every time you're playing the first time in a day, make sure you do extreme because it gives you the biggest first time reward. What you call it? It's the limited time reward. So you can see I get 300 dual coins and you get the bonus reward 60. That's actually amazing, you know. You take that to the exchange shop every single day. You're playing every single day, and you also get your natural drops as well. At the bottom, you can claim chrono crystals. 1,500 for 100. Times that by 3, it's 4,500 for 300 chrono crystals. You're probably not using the chrono crystals on the dual coins on anything else besides these equipments. And these equipments are tedious to get anyways. You might be able to get the one that you need from just playing naturally. So you might want to exchange for chrono crystals here. It's a sleeper method. People do not capitalize on this one at all. People hate co-op, but it's not hard to do, to be honest. You can do this easily once a day, every day. I spoke about it earlier, but now we've got the mission plan. The mission plan, make sure you're picking the battle lovers plan every single time. It's pretty simple, to be honest. If you're just free to play, you'll be able to get 500 chrono crystals for completing the battle lovers plan. But if you're paid to win, you get extra 1,500 through the premium section. It's actually very cheap, and in my opinion, the most valuable pay to win thing you can get in this game. 1,500 chrono crystals. I think the first time you buy the mission plan as well, you get it discounted. So normally in the UK, I think it's like £8 or £9, but the first time it will be half price. So that's pretty solid, you know. Extra 1,500 for paying us. I'm not gonna call it a small fee, but it's a lot more cheaper in comparison to other fees in the game if you did want to be paid to win. The missions are very simple, you know, like log in, play PvP, which I mentioned earlier, do adventures, hyperdimensional co-op. equipments, everything ties together in this game. So if you're doing everything efficiently, you'll just benefit all the way around. It will always come full circle. Very simple mission plan. Always advise you do the Battle Lovers plan because that's where you can get the most chrono crystals. In the same way I just told you to do the mission plan, make sure you're doing your daily missions. The dailies, I've already completed them, but the missions are very easy. Like use 10 energy, play bonus battle, play let's fight, play co-op or PvP. Very easy to do. It doesn't take that much time. You can literally get it done within 5 to 10 minutes. You don't even need to win the co-op or PvP. You just need to play, as long as you don't forfeit, I believe. And then you'll be filling out the stamp rally. Now the stamp rally is super important to know because you get rewarded based on being consistent. So if you miss a day, you're not going to be able to get that big 500, which would amass for 1,000 chrono crystals within 14 days. So take advantage of this. It's there for you. Another thing is the login. So obviously when you're logging in, you're getting your spin the wheel or whatever, but you can customize what you choose. So naturally you should just be choosing, you know, the chrono crystals. I'm choosing equipment medals and chrono crystals. Then on top of that, you get your RNG chances of spinning the wheel and your login bonuses naturally. But yeah, that's your dailies. Make sure you're playing every day. If you're not playing every day, what do you expect? This section here, it's called RNG. If you don't know what RNG stands for, it stands for random number generator, which basically implies luck. In the same way luck is applied when you're summoning, you don't know if you're going to get the unit unless it has a pity system and you have lots of money. You don't know if you're going to get the unit the same way, where these factors, you can get chrono crystals based on things that you don't have control over. So on the weekend, there's this adventure that you can do for every Legends weekend day, Saturday, Sunday and Monday. When you place that adventure, once it finishes, there's a chance for you to get 300 chrono crystals. It drops 3 things every single time, so it can be 100 chrono crystals 3 times, which is obviously unlikely, but you might just get 100 chrono crystals at least once, you know. Slot removers and some other good things that you can get from that adventure. Do it every single weekend, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. You get one every single time. Outside of that, I'm trying to think of any other RNG factors that give you chrono crystals. Is obviously the spin the wheel when you log in. I think that's pretty much it, to be honest. There was the PvP treasure battle, but right now it's not treasure battle as in normal. It's giving you those flowers so that you can use them in the shop, but normally it's a chance for you to get chrono crystals. But I think that's pretty much it for RNG factors. The last thing I'm going to mention, just in the scenario that people do want to become pay to win, or they do feel like, oh, it's the anniversary, we should spend a bit of money just to have a bit of fun, try to get the unit. You might make that decision for yourself, but I am nowhere near advising. I'm just going to say what I think is most worth it if I was going to buy something. So me personally, I think the mission plan is the most valuable. It's one of the cheaper things in the shop, and you can buy it consistently, getting a total of 1,500 chrono crystals if you have the Battle Lovers plan. Outside of that, this 1,000 sale is one that I always try to get. It's super cheap as well, similar to the mission plan. I like that sale a lot, and besides from that, the digger robots do justice. The silver one, it's more expensive for less time, and you get more chrono crystals faster. So more chrono crystals faster, or you can go for the red digger robot, which is cheaper, but you get less chrono crystals over a longer extended period of time. Both of them are super good, but it depends on how much money you're willing to put out there. Outside of that, if we're talking about good sales, I think the Legends weekend sale is pretty good because it gives you Legends limited Z power that you can apply every single weekend. And besides from that, it's pretty much going to be these daily packs, you know, but I wouldn't recommend these daily packs because they're super expensive. It's really just the 1k sale, which is like £8 you can see there, the digger robots and the mission plan, which are really the big 3 for me personally. The weekend sale is like the additional one because you also get Z power, which you're looking to use anyways. You know, you're getting chrono crystals to get Legend Limited and Ultras. In this case, it's an Ultra, so it wouldn't apply, but you know what I'm saying. But yeah, man, that's going to be the end of the video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. I did my best to give you guys the best information for these methods for where you can get chrono crystals so that you guys have the best chance of pulling Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. Whether you have him or don't, you might be able to get more copies. But like I said, hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. If you haven't already, make sure to press that subscribe button. We're on this grind to 100,000 subscribers. I appreciate you guys for watching, man. My name's Zakashi, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one, man.